Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Vikings GamePlan. I'm your host, Paul Allen. Very happy to be joined by elite football minds like Ron Johnson from Fox 9 and Pete Bercich, former linebacker and coach for the Minnesota Vikings, analyst for the Minnesota Vikings radio network. We are all convened at the TCO studios into a game against an undefeated team. The Tennessee Titans, a team that went to the AFC title game last year. Matchup stats. Ron Johnson, when you see these numbers and you know one team is 2-0, the other is 0-2, what do you think?
Well, I could jump on every single stat where Titans are kind of middle of the road, but they're getting wins, so nobody cares. The Vikings, on the other hand, being at the bottom. But I'm going to go with turnovers. The Vikings have to find a way to create more turnovers and not give the ball to the other team. With a team like the Titans who will run the ball down your throat, you can't give them the ball back because they will drain the clock. Time of possession. The Vikings have been getting crushed. This is not a game that you want to turn the ball over because if they have a lead, they're going to run the ball and they're going to run it until you stop it. They are a Madden video game type offense, and that's what I see on these stats.
And I think from on my end with the stats, you have to take a look at the games too, because I think the stats tell one story. The Titans are sort of in the middle of the road in a lot of things with rushing or the receiving, especially on defense. But they jumped up to a huge lead last week against Jacksonville and then let Jacksonville kind of get back into that game. They're playing that little prevent in front of them. So their games have not been competitive all the way to the end, but this is a very, very good football team that's coming into town this Sunday.
Peter's right. It's a very, very good team. The Minnesota Vikings are 0-2, so let's just cut to the chase. Ron, what are some things that need to take place to fix this?
Tempo on the offense. The offense has come out and they've had some decent first drives against the Packers. They scored. The next game they kicked a field goal against the Colts. But then it got stalled in both games. Nothing happened. 28 straight points for the Colts. I want to see the offense come out with some tempo. I want to see some on-purpose runs to Dalvin Cook. I want to see some on-purpose, get other guys involved. Justin Jefferson. We know Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen have a great relationship. Kirk is now, this is the time. You have to trust Justin Jefferson. He's caught every ball. Camp is done. Since camp, he's caught every ball Kirk Cousins has thrown to him. It's time to either start the rookie or at least get him some more on-purpose targets.
Peter?
I'm going to cast a little bit of a wider net in this and saying I want to see all three phases working together, right? The defense comes up with an interception. Offense goes in, 3 and out. We punt. And then next thing you know, Indianapolis has the ball after the punt on our 35-yard line. So the defense has to already go out there and defend a short field. We're not firing on all cylinders. All three phases aren't working together. I mean, the turnovers is the big, big red glaring sign that says fix this first. But all three phases, those guys, when you have a chance to exchange field position, you have to do it. And we're just not doing that right now. It's like when the defense is making stops, offense can't do more than 3 plays in a row. And it's just the continuity is not there. That needs to come back first before any of these numbers are going to start changing.
I do a weekly radio show on the flagship KFAN with Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer. It's called X's and O's, and I asked the head coach that exact question. Mike, what does it take to turn the beat around?
Well, I think we improved last week defensively. I think we played a lot tougher and smarter. We played some good sudden changes. We've got to continue to do that. We can't give up big plays. We can't have penalties on third downs, which we did the week before. And then offensively, we can't give up safeties. We got to take care of that. When we got the ball backed up there, we have to understand where we're at on the field. You can't throw interceptions right before the end of the half, or drop balls and penalties. We had a penalty coming off the goal line that really made us the reason why we got the safety. So we have to be a little bit more diligent about the things that we're doing.
And then you add injury to insult, guys, in that Anthony Barr's out for the season. I mean, Mike's not going to make any excuses, and we aren't either. But I mean, from Michael Pierce opting out through the Barr injury, there are people here at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center who legitimately can say, when is enough enough, right?
No, absolutely right, Paul. And you're losing experience, right? And a guy that's been with this system and been with this program for quite some time, the most dynamic player on defense. When Anthony Barr is engaged at certain times, no one can make plays like he can. So what changes do you have to make? Well, find yourself a good run-stuffing linebacker and maybe go dime on third downs. There's different things I think that the Vikings can do, but you're definitely losing a lot. A guy who can make big plays, a guy who's been a leader, and a guy that knows the system. So, when it rains, it pours, and it's just not a great time ever to lose a starting linebacker. But for this defense, hard to turn around with that leadership being gone.